Like, just because I have tattoos doesn't mean I'm not gonna be a good worker.
Hey beautiful people, how y'all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So this video, it is a very interesting video. You want to watch this video to the end because I really want to know your thoughts on this video, okay? So this video is a video of a sister who came online to talk about how she applied on a job in TJ Maxx and she didn't give her the job. And she went on to talk about how she thinks that they didn't give her the job because of the tattoo she has and the tattoo and piercing she has all over her face and all that. She felt like that was the reason she wasn't given the job in TJ Maxx. But one of the questions she was asking how that, okay, because she went back and said, oh, why wasn't I given this job? And the lady she spoke to said, oh, it's because you didn't have enough experience for this job, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And she went and said she doesn't think so. She feels like it was because of tattoos and piercing. That was why she wasn't given the job. But she was not asking the question that 16 years old young people that are getting into the workforce, how do they get jobs without experience and how are they going to navigate that? And when she said that, the response of people just got it talking because a lot of people were coming for her and dragging her for her tattoo, the type of tattoo she has, and the placement of her tattoo. So let me know down in the comment section if you think that tattoo is important when it comes to looking for a job, corporate jobs, and all that, the placement of tattoo, the type of tattoo you have, if it's important, including piercing, if it's important when it comes to corporate jobs. Anyway, guys, let's go check out what the sister have to say and hear our own story, and then we'll come back and talk more and hear other people's thoughts on this. But I also want to know your own thought down in the comment section.
So I wanted to come on here and talk about something that is really starting to annoy me. So I applied for a job at TJ Maxx a few weeks ago and they denied my application. They couldn't even call me. They just sent me some automated email. So I went in today and I was like, so what was the reason I didn't get hired? And she was like, oh, like you just like don't have enough experience. There was candidates that had like more experience than you. And, you know, I asked her if it was about my tattoos, obviously, because I know a lot of places don't like tattoos. She said that wasn't the reason. I don't feel like that's true, but whatever, I'll leave it at that. So I'm just wondering how, like, teenagers and young adults who haven't had a job before, how are they supposed to get employed if these places are only hiring people with experience? So younger people just can't get a job because they haven't worked enough? So, like, they'll deny a 16-year-old a job because they don't have enough work experience. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I do okay with money as is, so I didn't, like, need the job, but I would have liked it to have made some extra money so I could pay off my debt quicker. I want you guys to talk about in the comments what it's been like for you finding a job recently, like if it's been easy or if it's been difficult, and I want to know like what kind of experience you guys have, because I want to see if I'm the only person that's like experiencing this right now or not. And you know, I hate that my tattoos are such a defining factor for me getting a job or not. Okay. Like, just because I have tattoos doesn't mean I'm not going to be a good worker. Like, I do not understand that at all. Because quite literally, some of the most smart, intelligent people I've ever met are people with tattoos and piercings. I could be wrong, but I've seen that, like, in Europe, like, people with tattoos and piercings can get jobs, like, way easier there. So, why is America not hopped on the bandwagon? Another thing, too, is, like, all these places, they say that they're hiring, but I feel like they're not. Because I shop at all of these stores and I see hiring now signs, but those signs have been up for months. And I know plenty of people are looking for work. So how have they still not hired people? Sorry for the long ranting video, but I just feel like this is something that needs to be talked about. It's so annoying. And for anyone that is looking for a job right now that is younger and doesn't have experience, I truly wish you the best of luck because it is very hard out here right now.
Please let me know down in the comment section about your thoughts about the question she asked about how people, especially younger people, are able to get jobs without experience. And do you also think that her having a tattoo has to do with why the job was not given to her? Because this was a great factor to a lot of people's reaction to our video and to our question, asking questions about how she see how people with tattoos and piercing really get it hard to get jobs, especially in America. So let me know your own thought on that, about people that have tattooed working certain jobs. What are your thoughts on that? I have my own thought and I can't wait to share it with you guys. Okay, so go down in the comment section and share your thought. Love to know what you think. But let's go hear other people's thought on what the sister said, our own answering our question and their thought about her having a tattoo and applying for a job at a store. So anyway, guys, let's go check it out and then we'll come back and talk more.
So I wanted to come on here and talk about something that is really starting to...
I've worked in the corporate world for many, many, many years. I have tattoos. And guess what? If I put on a cardigan, it's covered up. This one is covered up when I put on a cardigan. I got out of the corporate world and I got this one. But guess what? It stops right before my wrist. So if I put on a long sleeve cardigan, it's covered up. In the winter time, I'm fully covered up. You can't even tell I have tattoos. Like, people don't want to see that shit. And you are oblivious to think that it's okay.
Okay.
It is not okay. Society might think it's okay. Corporate does not. There's two different things.
Yep.
Kim Kardashian famously said, "I would never put bumper stickers on a Bentley," talking about she would never put tattoos on her beautiful body. This young lady is going viral right now because she tried to get a job at TJ Maxx Home Goods and they said that she didn't have enough experience. No, it was about the tattoos. Okay. TJ Maxx Home Goods customer base is Generation X, Boomers, and some conservative and moderate Generation Z people. They do not want someone greeting you at the counter and trying to get you to sign up for a TJ Maxx credit card looking like this. And this is not to shame her. This is just to say that you got to be careful when you're doing tattoos and when you're doing any types of piercings or body modifications. People are going to take that into account when they decide to hire you, when they decide to do business with you, when they decide to befriend you, when they decide to date you. Start thinking about these things before you do them, guys.
In Europe, like, people with tattoos and piercings can get jobs like way
Even in Europe, they will not hire you. So I don't understand why we're actually so confused. It's one thing to have tattoos, and it's another thing to have tattoos. But it's a whole different thing to have tattoos with evil symbolic meaning. You have the devil right here on your chest that you'll be using to greet people. Even if you want to put on shirt that cover it. What about all this stuff that's going on your face now? It doesn't look good for the company. But I looked in the comments, and some people said she might get a job at Spear, Halloween, Hot Topic, or Spencer's. Yeah, go crazy. But you gotta be for real. I don't know why we acting so confused. I'm like, why? Granted, I do think it's because of her tattoos, but yeah, there are jobs out here saying we're hiring, but ain't hiring the nobody. But I don't think that's your problem. I think it's the tattoos.
a job at TJ Maxx a few weeks ago and they denied.
You have a spider on your neck. You applied to work at TJ Maxx. Look, I don't care. I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. Look however you want. I would hire you. I'm sure you're a good person, hard worker. That's all great. But you know who does give a shit? Sharon.
Oh, sure.
The 52-year-old general manager of the TJ Maxx at the Washington Square Outlet Mall in Albuquerque, New Mexico, or whatever. Look, do whatever you want to do, but you had to know that this is how it works.
At TJ Maxx a few weeks ago, and they denied my application.
I'm seeing a lot of stitches explaining why she didn't get the job, and it's like obvious because she has tattoos. And at first I was like, yeah, honestly, yeah. But then I realized no, because depending on what she wore to the interview, and if she was willing to cover up the face tattoos with makeup, then, you know. If she wasn't and it was in our policy, then there was nothing I can do about it. So before you look for a job, you have to go into their company's policies and see if they're allowed to have tattoos or face tattoos. Because some jobs won't even allow you to have tattoos on her arms being shown. If she interviewed well, and I thought that she would be a good fit for the team and the company, and she was willing to follow policy, okay, come on, let's go. Unfortunately, customers are going to feel their certain way and sometimes might not come back into a store because they don't feel comfortable with the people they are around. I mean, it can be anything. It don't even have to be tattoos. It could be just the color of your skin. Somebody will hire her, though.
I went in today and I was like, so what was the reason I didn't get hired?
It was 100% because of your tattoos. Okay. Now, I don't have a lot of tattoos like that creator does. I have this one and about 3 others, but I've learned very early on about job stoppers. And that the types of tattoos you get and where you get them can affect your chances of finding a job or a career. Now, if you're in the creative space or you're in the arts, then you don't really have to worry about this nearly as much. But if you're going to be in corporate America or you're going to be in any kind of client or customer facing role, then this does apply to you. But there needs to be some kind of decorum in a professional or corporate sense. So if you do have tattoos, just make sure they aren't too intimidating, too offensive, and can be easily hidden. Take me, I work in leasing in the real estate field, and pretty much all of us have tattoos in that department. But most of us have them on our arms, legs, or anywhere else that we can easily cover it up with clothes. Only one of my colleagues actually has a hand tattoo, but it's so discreet that you wouldn't even notice unless you actually look. Now, I'm personally all for self-expression. You have every right to do whatever modifications you want to do for your body, but understand that what you do can have consequences on your livelihood when it comes to jobs.
Like in Europe, like people with tattoos and piercings can get jobs like way easier there. So why is America not hopped on the bandwagon?
Listen, I don't know if you know this or not, but you're actually not in Europe, so the same rules do not apply. It's kind of like the same logic and reasoning that children of divorce use when they say, "Oh, but dad lets me do this." Wrong house. Wrong house, different rules. So, as someone who lives in Europe and has traveled to most countries in Europe, I have never seen, even in the most liberal cities, someone with multiple face tattoos and what some might call tattoos working retail in like a TK Maxx or an H&M. If anything, they are working in a tattoo parlor or they're covering them up with this wild thing that we call makeup. Second of all, if you're working retail, it is one thing to have tattoos. It is another thing to have tattoos that a very large majority of the population of the United States would probably find offensive. Like, let's not forget, you are openly walking around with a ram skull with the Pam on it and a spider. When you're working retail, you have to be approachable. People have to want to come and talk to you and not run away from you.
So I wanted to come on here and talk about something that is really starting to...
Hey, it's Michelle, African American female HR manager working in corporate America here, and I have a couple things for you on this. Please don't take it personal that they sent you that automated email. It's not you, it's literally the system. Recruiters and employers literally use an applicant tracking system that can use the data like the time you spent at your previous employers to determine whether or not they want to push you forward to the next round or decline you altogether. And I'm only saying this because you insinuated at this, but if you know that at one time or another your tattoos have been shocking or off-putting, then you should not have walked in there to ask why. It was pointless. If her response was that you did not have enough experience, you need to take that and you need to respond with, "Thank you so much for that feedback. Do you happen to have any other contacts or know of any sister companies that I could perhaps apply to?" You should not have asked about your tattoos. These people are there to protect the company, so in no way could she fix her mouth to look at you and say, "Yes, it's because of your tattoos." No, ma'am, that would not help the company. You mentioned 16-year-olds and how they could get jobs with no experience. And I myself volunteered at 15 years old and then was able to get hired on after that at an animal clinic. And like most 16-year-olds, they work in fast food. They start there. And last thing, I actually have a couple more, but I'll just leave it at this. You mentioned that you hate that your tattoos are such a defining factor on whether or not you're able to get a job. But in this particular situation, you're not even able to confirm that's why you didn't get the job. She said that. So maybe for future reference, you think about the things that you do before you do them, and perhaps reach out to me for some coaching opportunities with interviewing and perhaps resume revamp. Let me know if you need anything.
They denied my application. They couldn't even call me. They just sent me some automated.
Babe, you didn't get hired because of the placement of your tattoos. And I'm talking about your neck and your face. Let me talk to you about why. I myself have tattoos. I'm also a millennial. In my generation, when we were kids, we were raised that whenever you're going to go into job interviews, whether it's an entry-level job or a high-paying job, you want to go in dressed in business attire. I was always taught that if I'm going to go into an interview to cover up all my tattoos and make sure that they're not visible. I totally understand that it's 2024 and jobs should be more accepting, but you also need to pay attention to who is shopping at these places. In 2018, I was working for this really amazing company. I would go dressed up in a suit all the time. And one time during the summer, I wore a nice blouse with a blazer, but I took off the blazer because it was hot and I was in the office. My general manager walks up to me and he was like, "Oh, you have tattoos?" And I'm like, "Yes." I didn't think much of the question because, you know, people usually compliment my tattoos. And his response was, "Had I known you had tattoos, I would have never hired you." Now, it's 2018. Tattoos are normal at this time. But I understood that he meant it because our clients were older people that believed that if you had tattoos, you were either a vet or a criminal. And they would look down on tattoos. You applied at TJ Maxx, where it has a combination of people that like tattoos and people that don't like tattoos. Now, if you would have applied at places like Hot Topic, Spirit Halloween, Spencer's, you'd probably have a higher chance of getting hired because of the placement of your tattoos. Or they won't care of the placement of your tattoos. Now, this is to the younger generation who doesn't have tattoos. If you don't know what you want your career to be yet, hold off on getting any tattoos from the wrist bone down, your collarbone up. Avoid neck tattoos, avoid face tattoos. If you know that you want to go into being a barber, a tattoo artist, something that you know that you're going to be self-employed and do not need to be hired for whatever you're going to be doing, then by all means, do what you want. But again, my advice is wait until you know what career field you're going to be going into for you to get any neck or face tattoos, even hand tattoos. Because yes, it's 2024, but some people still care. And they won't tell you that that's not why they're hiring you. They can always lie, like they lied to her.
So let me know down in the comment section if you agree with what most of the people are saying, that it's because of a tattoo, that is why they didn't hire her. Let me know your own thought on this, because I have a lot to say about this tattoo. But the original creator that created the video, at least she saw people's response, people's comments about people saying that it's because of her tattoo, the one on her neck, the one on her face, and all that. That the placement of her tattoo was the reason why she wasn't hired. And she decided to come and respond and give us some thoughts. So let's go check out what she has to say, because I have no idea what she said. I'll respond to it. So let's go check it out, and then I'll come back and give my own final thought. Okay.
Wow, it's not even 7 a.m. I woke up and read the comments on my video, and I have a lot to say. Okay. You guys missed the point of that video entirely. Okay. I don't need that job at TJ Maxx. I make plenty of money. If I didn't make enough money, I would not be able to afford a Dodge Challenger that has a almost $500 monthly payment. I have thousands of dollars worth of artwork on my body. I have $7,000 breast implants, and I have about $3,000 of filler in my face. And it's crazy. It's like, you need to have money to do those things. I just wanted the job to make more money, because what's wrong with wanting to make more money?
Okay.
But, you know, I posted that video because I knew I was going to get exactly those kind of reactions. And there's people saying, oh, it's because of your tattoos. So if it is about my tattoos, that's religious discrimination, which it's illegal to discriminate against someone based off of their religious beliefs. And appearance has nothing to do with work skills. Other comments that I noticed is people said that I voted for Biden. I haven't voted before, and I would never vote for him. And people are like, oh, well, leave America. Once my husband is out of the military, that is our plan. But, you know, since he has a military contract to serve out, we can't just leave quite yet. So funny because it's always like older generations that say that younger people are the ones that get all triggered and stuff the most when I think it's quite literally the opposite. And old people are in my comments saying that they're afraid of me. Good, I'm glad. I don't want to be around you. Old people are quite literally the reason why the United States is in quite literal chaos right now. All of these politicians literally look like they're about to take their last breath. But so, bottom line, everyone missed the whole point of that video. I don't need that job. I make enough money. So, yeah. I am gonna go enjoy my day getting some Starbucks and shopping.
Okay. So I want to know your own thoughts on the entire video, our original video. People respond to our original video, and I respond to people's response to the video. So please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts, but keep it respectful as always. Okay. So here's my thought on this. First off, okay, what my thought about the tattoo. I don't care. I don't care what anybody chooses to do with their body. Whatever you choose to do with your body, if you like it, I love it. Let's all be happy. Go ahead and do it. But one thing, as much as we're trying to unlearn certain things and move society into certain direction, we should also know how society and our environment work, especially when we talk about money and how to make money and how to earn money. You get what I'm saying? You need to follow the rules of whoever is going to be paying your salary, your bills, or whatever they need if you need it. A lot of people keep saying that, oh, it's all money is not all that matters. Da 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 da. I can be free. I can be doing this. No, I don't think so. As much as you like it, as much as I want money not to be very important, it is very important. And some of us we work so hard to even earn the money. And if you want to be in that category where you work hard to earn the money, whether it's your employer, you need to know their contract, and apart from their contract, their policy, and even how that environment works. Like for me, for example, I do content creator. I know that I create content online. I know that there are certain things that YouTube will not allow to fly. There are certain things that will not fly. So I cannot say because, oh, freedom of expression, freedom of this, freedom of that, then I want to do it. They will demonetize me. They will kick me out of their platform. And it is generally even in a physical world where you want to work in a corporate. I have worked in corporate. I've done 9 to 5 before. There is no way you have such. I'm not against anybody that has tattoo. In fact, I'm even planning to get my first tattoo this summer. I'm not against anybody having tattoo. But when you want to have tattoo like the tattoo she has on her neck, on her face, piercing everywhere, and you want to work with people, you want to work with society, you want to work with day-to-day people, and you know these are things that is being divided. Some people like it, some people don't. It's going to affect the company, and the company will not want that to be the face of the company, because the company does not want that controversy going on or anybody complaining and all that. So I get why a company or the corporate body would not want to hire her because of a tattoo. I get it. But I also feel like the other sister said, when you are making these type of decisions to tattoo your face, to create, to do tattoo, to do art, to do any form of expression on your body, then put into consideration what you want to do with your life moving forward. If you're still going to be in the corporate world, or you want to be in the corporate world, you know those things don't fly. There are 1,001 people applying for that same job that you're applying for that will not have that tattoo. They rather apply, they rather take those people, they rather admit those people into the job than you. Even if you are so qualified, you know your onions and all that, they will rather take those people than you. And when you're applying for a job and you're a job seeker, I'm talking to even the younger people, and you're a job seeker, you want to be able to put your foot forward there so that you stand out, so that when they are picking, you're among the first 10 people. Because there's a lot of people that are applying for jobs. There's so much. So how do you stand out? How do you make it? Not just by going to a place with all tattoo and all that. Like, I want to work in TJ Maxx where there's a lot of customers in and out and all that. Some people may even see it as a bad aura and all that. And the store or the company does not want that. Then, lastly, I also want to point out some of the things she came to say back in our response. Nobody is batching you. I don't care. I personally, I don't care what anybody chooses to do with their life. Like, just be. If you're happy, you're not harming any human being. You're not harming the earth. Go do you. Go live your best life. That's just me. But also, she come to say, oh, I don't need a job. I just need an extra money and all that. Oh, I have this. I have 3,000 filler. I have 7,000 breast implant. Da, da, da. So this is my take. If you're going to come to the internet to ask for people's opinion, to share your story, be ready to get the opinion, because people are going to say what they want to say. They'll say it to their full chest. And for you to come and like, oh, I don't really need the money, like, then you shouldn't have just come online to talk about it. Personally, you guys know you're on this channel. I'm one of those people that I believe that, oh, people should share their story because people learn from it and all that and all that. But if you're going to come back and downplay and try to make people feel like they are cuckoo or, oh, you don't need it, da 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 da. I get it sometimes when the heat comes on the internet, you just want to like take yourself out of the equation, like don't want to like save your face. But I didn't say anything wrong with what most, at least the people I stitch, I didn't say anything wrong with what they did. Or the people that the people stitch I compare, I didn't say anything wrong with what they did. But for her trying to like, yeah, I don't need the money, I don't know, like, okay, sis, do you live your best life? Nah. Anyway, guys, let me know your own thought down in the comment section, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up and share this video. Thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.